Okay guys, so in this video we're going to look at step 26, which is going to be talking about validation rules. So in the previous video we imported the two files that we're using, and we formed relationships between those two files, and now we can actually start working on applying certain properties to these fields that we are working with. So to restrict the table entry in the cost price field to be less than or equal to 1,000,000. Okay, so if we go to our access, once we form the relationships, we can just right click and just click on save, right click and close. And what we want to do is we're going to be working with the cost price. So if we go between these two tables, you're going to see we have VIN, model, power, etc. We're trying to find the table that has cost price as one of its fields. So we can see that cost price occurs over here in the cars table. So to apply or restrict data, what we're going to do is we're going to go to View, Design View. We're going to click on cost price, and at the bottom we have this field properties little task pane that comes up. So we have validation rule. So in here we're going to type in what values we want to accept under cost price. So they said values less than or equal to 1,000,000. So we're going to put that in terms of math symbols. So we're going to say less than, equal to 1,000,000. So those are the values that users can only type in. So for validation text is basically a little error message that will come up if the users do not type in values of 1,000,000 or less. So we've got to tell the users to type in those values if they do not do so. So for example, you could say, please enter values of 1,000,000 or less. Okay, so this is just a random message. You probably have to make it a lot more professional in your exam. But let's check if this is going to work. So if you go to View, Datasheet View, you're going to always save if it asks you to save. So if you look at cost price, you can see this first entry is 11,000. So let's see if our validation works. So if we type in a value greater than 1,000,000, so let's say we type in 2,000,000 for example, and we hit enter, Access will come up with our personal message that tells the user to type in a value of 1,000,000 or less. So it will keep the user here until they follow that rule. So 11,000, and it's accepted. So that is how we do the first validation rule, how we restrict the cost price field to values of 1,000,000 or less. So evidence 5 says take a screenshot showing how you restricted the data. So how you restricted it? Well, this is how we did it. So we're going to take a screenshot of this over here, showing that cost price is selected and what we've done to the cost price field. So take a screenshot. This is evidence 5, so I'm going to go down and continue from where working from last time. Evidence 5, I'm going to paste it. And we're going to crop off everything we don't need. As it says, shows cost price and the validation rule applied to cost price. So that's how we restricted the data. So okay, cool. So now we go to the next part. So the next step over now is going to be to do the other validation rule. So it says restrict the data entry in the power field to be G, E, D, or H. Okay, so all we do now, same sort of thing. If I go to the datasheet view of our cars table, we're looking now through both of these tables, which one has the power field. So the distributors tables does not have that, but the cars does, so the power field. So we're going to do the same thing, View, Design View, and we have to make it G, E, D, or H. So we click on the power field, validation rule. So to do this one, we just put ORs in between the values that we have options to choose from. So G, or D, or E, or H. Validation text. We basically have to now tell the user to enter one of these 4 values. So please enter either G, D, E, or H. Maybe I'll take out the either part. Maybe it doesn't make too much sense if they're 4 values. Okay, so we're going to tell the user to enter any of these 4 if they do not type in one of these 4 values. So let's test it out. We go View. We're going to save it all again. We go to the power field, any random one. So this one says D. So if we type in a value other than the 4 that we have set, step in Z, and hit enter, you'll see error come up with our error message. So we have to type in one of those 4. So D is accepted. And if we want to show evidence of what we've done, we're basically going to take a screenshot of this, showing that power is selected and what we've done to the power field. So print screen, and when we go down, this is evidence 6. Evidence 6. Crop off what we do not need. And this is basically all we needed to do for our validation rules. So I hope that's okay. So hopefully this was alright. If you have those Access step-by-step guides, it shows you how to do this part. But let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.